The property we bought had a right-of-way on it. We had a good relationship with the company. That would have been We Energies, who owned the easement at that time. Unbeknownst to us, it was sold to American Transmission Company in 2001, and they since have treated our land and us really terribly. Our first meeting with them was when they came in without notifying us and mowed everything to the ground. When We Energies owned the easement, we were growing elderberries and blackberries and raspberries and strawberries grow under there. Also, there's, I would say, 1,000 different species of plant life. The elderberries should all be compatible, live beneath the power lines with no problems at all. In fact, they are considered by federal standards to be a good compatible plant beneath power lines. But ATC prefers their scorched earth process, and their new easements, which they're forcing on people who do not negotiate. The new easements do not allow any woody vegetation. ATC says that once they're done, they reseed and put nice plants back in. They hardly reseed at all. It's not enough to counteract the invasive plants that come in their wake. And so basically they're turning these power lines into invasive swaths of invasive reed canary grass. They don't worry about the buckthorn or the autumn olive that come in because they cut them down every 3 years or they spray them. The state says they cannot use pesticides or herbicides unless the landowner gives them the right to use it in writing. ATC came through a few years back and they had these little cards that they were getting everyone to sign saying they're touring cards. But if you read the small writing in the bottom of the card, it said that this would allow them, by signing this, they were allowed to use herbicides on your property. Well, not everyone, a lot of people are trusting and they say, oh sure, you can trim, we understand that you have to trim. And so they trim, so they sign away their rights. The herbicides that ATC uses, first of all, should not be used in wetlands. It says that right on the label. And this is a wetland. Our neighbor to the north, who signed their card, had their land herbicided. This herbicide is not good for fish, it's not good for birds, it's not good for dogs.
But what's going on here is ATC is going to take 20 feet of new right-of-way, which is all woods here. And this tree is off the right-of-way. This is the right-of-way line. You can see a fairly big red oak there, probably 150 years at least, wouldn't you say, Lila?
Yes.
And there's another red oak beyond it. But ATC's policy nowadays is to cut the limbs off of trees that are off right-of-way if they touch the right-of-way. They figure the right-of-way is a 90-degree angle straight up from this. So what's going to happen, they're going to cut all the limbs off of this tree that are facing the right-of-way, and also that really huge red oak that you see in the distance. The majority of its branches are facing the right-of-way and would never touch a line, but since they are in ATC's airspace, it's their policy to cut them off. And especially on that tree, that would be probably 70% of the tree's crown, and that's probably going to do it in over a period of years. It'll never heal from that kind of damage.
I'm a certified arborist, and that the American National Standards Institute says that taking more than 25% of a tree's crown will probably kill it. So basically, not only will ATC be taking 20 more feet on either side of the woods, they'll be killing the trees along the edges too.
One of the reasons they get away with this stuff is because loosely worded easements, the old easements even had a phrase, overhanging branches. They can cut overhanging branches. And a sane person would, I think, visualize them overhanging something of substance rather than just air. But since the wording is not specific, ATC squares up all of their right-of-ways, and you'll see it wherever you drive that ATC has a right-of-way. They're all just like somebody went in with a laser and cut everything off.
We were forced into going to condemnation court, to the Condemnation Commission, because ATC will not negotiate right-of-ways. They say what they do is they like to leave it very loose so they can come in and do things which should be illegal, if not criminal, and that way they're not held responsible for anything they do.